We are here with Kim, who is one of the cat volunteers here at the animal shelter. Kim, thank you for taking some time out to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
How long have you been a volunteer here at the animal shelter?
Almost 2 years now.
And how did you get started becoming a volunteer?
I had cats at home, and I had lost 2 cats within 4 days of each other, so I was depressed. And I wound up going all over Long Island, just looking to possibly adopt, just pet some cats. I went to every shelter under the sun, and I live in this town. This was the last shelter I wound up coming to. I live so close here, and I never left. I really like the atmosphere. I like the open cat room they have.
I was going to say, this is a very nice.
It's only been here about a little over 2 years, I think.
Okay.
And I just like the way you're a little more free, walking around, try to choose the.
So what are some of the things that you would do here being a cat volunteer? Do you play with the cats? Do you have any activities or something that you might do with them?
Absolutely. We come in, we pet, we play, we check, make sure everyone's okay, and we feed them. We definitely feed them. Canned food is donation only.
Okay.
So if one of the volunteers doesn't supply the canned food, buying it ourselves, then we really rely on people from outside donating the food for the cats, because they do go through a lot of food. There are a lot of cats here, and dogs as well. And so we really appreciate any donations. We take blankets and towels as well for them, and we clean up after them, to make sure that the employees here supply the dry and the water to clean up also, but we'll help in any way we can. Okay.
Now, how would you go about telling someone who's interested in volunteering to go about it? Would you have them call? Do you think it's better if they come down?
Well, they have to come down because there is an application.
Okay.
And they have to read a manual.
Okay.
To just give the rules and regulations of volunteering, and then you could just come in, and if everything works out, they're more than welcome.
Now, in terms of adopting a cat, we had spoken with Kathleen, who was one of the dog volunteers, and she said that when a prospective owner would come in, they would go out with the dog and the prospective owner and walk with them. And if that person had another dog, they would bring them in to try and see if they can get acclimated to each other. Is it different for cats? How does that work? Do you work with the prospective owners on picking a cat, or how does that?
Yeah, well, when people come in, they're interested in an animal and a cat. We make sure that we find a cat that'll match their needs. If they have cats at home, we have to make sure that we have a cat-friendly cat for them. There are a lot of cats that really need to be an only cat household. So we'll just find out a little bit about their background, what they're looking for. If they're looking more of a kitten, we'll show our younger cats. If they're looking for a senior cat, things like that. But yeah, we just see what they're really looking for, and sometimes it takes another visit or two just to see which cat really grabs them.
Right.
We have a lot of friendly cats here. They're just, very outgoing. I mean, we do have the shy ones too, but sometimes people do look for a more timid, cat that's not really going to jump on them all the time. And we just have a nice array of cats and kittens here that really need homes, and they're very desperate for homes. It's been a hard year with the economy. A lot of people want to bring in their cats and dogs because they can't afford to really keep them. But it's really, studies actually have shown, my daughter did a report on it, where having a pet keeps you alive longer, lowers your blood pressure.
Oh, really?
It really, it's very true with especially
I guess
with
a very
elderly
calming
people.
influence.
It is.
Like this, just having a cat that you could just,
it is
pet
calming,
while
It's something
relaxing.
to come home to that appreciates you just being there, just here for you with the unconditional love. Things like that.
Okay. And all the cats here are up for adoption. There are none that are...
Yeah, unless there's somebody that has, a cold, things like that. If someone's on medication, they want to just make sure the cat finishes their course of medication before they're adopted. But they're kept separate. They're not in general population. And things like that. But yeah, but all the cats are here for adoption, and they're really, really looking for loving homes. And so if someone just comes down and puts in an application, we get vet references, personal references, and if everything works out, and it's inexpensive as well. It's not, $100, $200, $300, where a lot of places, private adoption places, do charge a lot of money for them. So.
Okay, Kim, thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to join us here.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, I've noticed from doing some things over at the Senior Center and just being around here that we've heard some roosters and some other animals, peacocks and whatnot, and seeing them around here. Are they adoptable? How did you come to have them here? What's basically the deal with
Right, well, the peacocks actually were stray. They started out as a pair many years ago. We found them in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And nature took its course, and now we're up to 6. The chickens also were surrounded. Well, they were surrounded by the owners.
Okay.
Also, it's becoming popular now to have backyard chickens, and which is fine.
Right.
However, with that flock comes a couple of roosters.
Right.
And when you have more than one rooster, what happens there? They get in competition with each other, and they crow all
Right.
day long. And they'll start at 4 a.m. And so when we get the complaint about the crowing roosters, then we'll convince the people to give up most of the roosters, well, all the roosters but one,
Right.
to keep the peace in the neighborhood. And that's why we have an abundance of roosters.
Now, there is no law or anything against having chickens, but there is something for noise, and that's why you can only have, once they start getting too loud, that's when you'd have to step in.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the hens are fine, but too many roosters in the neighborhood do create a noise problem. And the chickens are here earning their keep. They do eat ticks.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, it's a nice. So they.
So it's a nice little
yeah, right.
little plus
Yeah,
here.
they earn their keep.
All right, so in addition to adoption and picking up strays and helping in the neighborhoods with animals, what other types of services do you provide here at the shelter?
Well, the residents can surrender their pet, dog or cat, unfortunately if it comes to that, and we'll endeavor to find homes for both the dog and the cat. And we also provide euthanasia. If your pet is at that stage of life when euthanasia is the answer at that point, we'll provide that service as well as arrangements for cremation.
Now, is there any law or ordinance against burying your pet in your yard or anything? Would you, once the pet is surrendered, if the owner knows that it's come to that time and they do know euthanasia is the best option for their pet, would you do the euthanasia and then prep it for burial or something like that?
Sure, we do that. Yeah, there's no Suffolk County law prohibiting burial of an animal. It has to be buried 3 foot deep.
Okay. Now, do you, besides pets, take any other types of donations possibly or something like that?
Yeah, sure. We're always open to donated food for both dogs and cats, blankets, toys, chew toys. That's always welcome. Yeah, whatever, sheets, anything like that.
Is there anything you won't take that some people may have tried to donate before, but you really couldn't?
Expired dog food and cat food.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't have to take that, but okay. So basically, if someone just wanted to help out
Sure.
the shelter in any way,
Yeah.
they can just come down. You prefer they come down and drop off instead of
Yeah. Yeah.
sending it package or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, that happens most every day. Someone comes in and drops off something.
Okay.
And as you noticed, in the winter months we have blankets on all the dog kennels.
Right.
And we have plenty of blankets and whatnot here to make the cats comfortable.
George, thank you
Okay.
very much for taking time out today.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on Smithtown Spotlight. And if you would like any information about any of the pets here that are up for adoption, or if you would like to volunteer, you can visit the website www.smithtowninfo.com and click on the animal shelter link. Or you can call them direct, 631-360-7575. For Smithtown Spotlight, I'm Bobby Rabbit.